Happy day, everyone, and welcome to the December 2018 Business Forum as recorded here with RJ Murdoch, who's sitting right over there doing a fabulous job of this. And we want to thank RJ and certainly Cox for allowing us to showcase this fine periodical across the country. And today we have a very special guest who's normally seated in this seat, but now he's over there, our 2018 chair of the board, the one and only Nicholas Chubb. Nick, how's it feel to be in that seat?
Well, it's, the sun is a little brighter on this side.
It is.
And I feel a little breeze coming from the water.
It is a wonderful set that he's got set up here, and we appreciate RJ for that. But I thought it'd be really cool at the end of the year to showcase you and your involvement, your business tips that you can share with our viewers out there from Cabinets R Us. Are you up for that?
Fire away.
Fire away, you say. You know, when I see you, I remember when you moved down here 12 years ago?
13.
13 years ago, and you were working for another company in the area, and for whatever reason changed, and then you became the owner of Cabinets R Us. What's it like to be an entrepreneur in such a way?
Well, it was interesting. One, people always say it's great to be your own boss. You don't have anybody to blame other than yourself.
Right.
The buck stops here, and everything runs downhill to here too. Right. So, the good and the bad is you get to do the business the way you want to. I didn't buy a franchise. I started it from ground up so I could put my own imprint to it. And that's what I would encourage anybody else trying to look at a business is if you've got the determination and the desire to make something happen and you've got a certain level of standards that you'd like to maintain, doing it yourself can be the most ideal way to handle it. And a lot of people think that I have a franchise just because of the way I've branded myself.
Right, yeah.
And it's not. It's just what I put together and the way I wanted it to be done and the level of integrity and quality of work that we do. And that's allowed us, I haven't advertised in 3.5, 4 years. And I turn business away constantly.
Yeah, so let's because I know your career, you were with corporate for a long time.
Correct.
So again, someone's out there now, they may be working at a corporate job, et cetera. What's the catalyst that says, hey, it's time for me to form my own job or to begin my own job?
Well, I mean, it could be several things. You could be reaching that plateau in your company.
Right.
Don't want to make, or your company might want you to move you up within the company, and you might want to geographically stay where you're at. That's one set of circumstances. The other is, just wanting not to fill out the forms, punch the ticket.
Got it, right.
Do that type of thing, and be your own boss.
I'll be darned.
In my case, it was a combination of downsizing when the market dropped off substantially back at 9/11, and the fact that I wanted a little slower pace for myself.
Got it.
Running your own business doesn't always.
I was going to say that seems like you may not have achieved that goal knowing how hard you've been working.
Well, you build it up and then it gets so big, and I could have taken the business to another level several years ago, but I just wanted to keep it as just me running it, me handling all of it, and having my installers and subcontractors doing the work at my standard level.
Good.
And you can let it become all time consuming if you want, but you can also dictate, this is all I'm doing. I'm not taking it up to be a $2-3 million a year company.
Got it. Well, it's similar to RJ Murdoch as an entrepreneur over there doing the same thing and setting his own hours. But I know both of you you may have thought that you were going to work less hours, but I know both of you were working many times, 7 days and late at night, et cetera, et cetera. So let's talk about the specificity of what Cabinets R Us is.
Well, basically, I started the business to do kitchen remodeling in condos because we've got 10,000 plus condos within a 25-mile radius of here. And it was a niche market that cabinet companies, traditional cabinet companies, didn't want to bother with because it takes more attention to detail, it's more time consuming, and the jobs are generally less expensive. Hence the reason for doing it for the rental market. It saves the return on it, maximizes return on investment for the condo owner. Well, that grew, aside from just doing cabinet doors, then it was doing countertops. And, well, if you're doing countertops, do you know anybody that does backsplashes?
Oh, my God.
Well, if you can do a backsplash, you're in the tile business, so you can do floor tile. So it just grew from there to pretty much remodeling kitchen and bathrooms.
I'll be darned. And it certainly is a niche. There's no doubt about it. And I know how busy you've been because we've been friends for the last 12 or 13 years since you've been involved with the Chamber, which has been absolutely wonderful. And because I want to talk about some of your community service outside the Chamber. I want to talk about your city council endeavors. But you're moving, though, which we'll talk about in a little bit. You're moving, so
Right.
What are you doing with the business?
Well, the business, I had contracted with the business broker and have not had any success. The contract is up, and I'll be pursuing a buyer. It's a perfect opportunity for another cabinet company, especially one that has countertop fabrication, specifically granite, as part of their business platform currently. Because right now I sub that out, and that company could therefore pick up the extra profit margin.
There you go.
And I do turn a lot of business away, as I said earlier. And for somebody with an expanded force, there's a great potential. I mean, the business could double, triple with just a little effort and the right marketing.
I love it. Well, there's certainly a lot of condos around here. A lot of them have been around since the 70s, 80s, 90s, needing repairs. So if there is anyone out there looking for a business opportunity,
Call.
call.
The number's on your screen.
The number's on the screen. Call Nick now, him and his wife Janet. Well, let's quickly talk about where you're moving quickly because I want to talk about a town council. So tell us where you're going.
Well, my wife and I have been looking for a 55-plus community around Florida. Everybody knows of the Villages. This is the same concept on a smaller scale. It's a 1,000-home community being built out. It's about halfway done. And we looked across Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina was kind of like, don't want to go any further north because of climate, but we did want a change of season. We're both from the north originally. And we just found this community being started 5 years ago, and we've been working with them from day one. And it's located in Denver, North Carolina, about 20 minutes north of the Charlotte airport. So we've got all the metropolitan aspects of a major city. We've got an international airport. We've got health care. We're on 15 minutes from the largest lake in North Carolina. So still have the water, just a different salinity content.
Oh, yes, very good. Very good. Well, we're going to miss you, but we're excited. So the point is two things. One is the business is up for sale because you're moving. So I can't emphasize enough. If there's anyone out there, call Nick and learn learn what it's like to open a business. And if you're interested in cabinet service, I know I'd like to chat with you. But I'm putting a different hat on, and we're not even going to talk about the chamber part until the second part of today's show. But I saw in the paper the other day it's time for some of the city councils to have the municipalities to run for city council. And I know that you were a town council member for many years with Cinco Bayou. Tell us about that.
Yes, when we moved to Cinco Bayou 12, 13 years ago, in getting a permit to do work on the house, I went into the office, town hall, and in chatting with the staff there, they learned that we were moving from Atlanta and that I'd been involved in leadership roles in several subdivisions, president of the HOA and things like that. And they said, well, wow, your subdivisions are as big as our town. We have an opening. And so I was quickly appointed and continued to run every 2 years and thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, tell us about you, because you were on for at least 8 years, right?
Yes.
8 years, yeah. So tell us about, again, so someone out there considering serving their community. It's certainly a volunteer basis, so there might be some minor benefits, maybe get a name tag. But tell us some of the things that are important, what a city council member needs to know to serve their community.
Well, you hit on one thing. The benefits, yes, you get a name tag, and sometimes you get a shirt, and sometimes you get enough money to cover gas for the month. It pays slightly better than what being chairman of the board of the chamber pays, but we'll talk about that in the next section.
Yes, we will.
It's just a chance to give back to the community, and that's what my wife and I have always done anywhere we live. We like to get involved and to be part of it, and once you do get involved, you'll find that, A, you learn things about how an organization, or in this case, a town or city runs, and what it takes. That's, apply all that background knowledge we used in trying to promote the sales tax initiative.
Sure.
Because if you don't understand how something works, you really shouldn't criticize it. You should get in there and find out more about it. And getting on council, or at least attend the meetings. And then maybe you'll find that, hey, this is something, it doesn't take up that much time. Get involved and be part of making your community better.
Well said, my friend. And we certainly, the surtax, as we all know, passed 63%, which was a wonderful initiative under your year of leadership, which we're very pleased. But again, if there's anyone out there, whether in Cinco, I know Fort Walton Beach has some running, I think Crestview, and I can't remember what the other one is, but 4 of our municipalities are having a race in March. So therefore, give them 1 or 2 steps as a person considering what they should do to prepare to think about running for office.
Well, Ted, you might remember we actually held some training sessions at the Chamber probably 5-8 years ago as part of Government Affairs Committee. We haven't done that, but that avenue is there. But again, attend a council meeting.
Right.
See what it takes. Talk with the staff. There's a process you have to go through to apply. Then you have to go through Paul Lux's office, Supervisor of Elections. But the easiest way is to go talk to the council members of the town or city you live in and ask them what it's like from their perspective.
Right, yeah, so therefore, again, check it out either online, because many are online, or in person. Talk to a current city council member, certainly in your case in Cinco, talk to Keith or the city manager or the city staff to get a feel for what it entails, and then determine, do you have the time and energy to serve your community as you have done? And they really are the pulse of making things happen in a small town, aren't they?
Absolutely. I mean, Cinco, again, as an example, less than 400 residents are right at it. And you've got a small council that makes all the decisions. You're the planning board. You do everything, soup to nuts, to make the city run. Well,
Nick, you've done a great job. Certainly an entrepreneur, a council member, and done various other things you volunteer for. I know your Corvette Club and various other things you've done. We're going to miss you such. But we're going to come back with one more segment here. You're going to stay here with us. We're going to talk about the Chamber of Commerce with a special guest, who's waiting right over there. So stay tuned, get a drink, settle back down into your seat, and let's join Nick Chubb and our special guest in just a minute here on Business Forum.